Why is North Korea isolated? Nicknamed the Hermit Kingdom due to its actions both at home and abroad, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea has minimal contact with the outside world. It allows very few tourists and almost no foreigners except for diplomats. That is because North Korea is a heavily militarized state, famed for its violations of human rights that foreigners are not supposed to know about. There are things the rest of the world takes for granted that will remain unknown to North Koreans. They have never watched any Western movies or listened to foreign music. The citizens are stuck in the 1960s, and the dictatorship of the Kim family has deemed it appropriate to keep it that way. North Koreans' isolation can be attributed to specific reasons, and in this video, we will shed more light on these and urge you to watch until the end. Historical factor. During the Korean War between 1950 and 1953, the war solidified North Korea's adversarial stance towards the United States and its allies. The conflict ended with an armistice. However, there was no formal peace treaty, thereby promoting a sense of perpetual conflict, which prompted North Korea to isolate itself. The situation worsened due to the dynamics of the Cold War, as North Korea aligned with the Soviet Union and China. It became dependent on them for economic and military support. The Soviet Union collapsed in 1991 and left them more isolated. The government goes out of its way to ensure that outside ideas and cultures do not influence its people while trying to maintain some semblance of participation, generally in world affairs. For this reason, people are not allowed to use cell phones or the internet and have no access to social media, which may corrupt them. Some people have argued that the world isolated North Korea because its leaders have been terrible at handling diplomatic relations, leading many nations to cut ties with them. They have nothing to offer, and their questionable ideologies bring us to our subsequent discussion. Political ideologies. The Juche ideology North Korea promotes and functions with stresses political independence and zero interference from external influence. It encourages self-reliance and the ability to function as a nation effectively while making the citizens believe that they have the best life and great leaders in the world. Due to its totalitarian government, the Kim family maintains rigorous and absolute control over the populace and suppresses any opposition. The regime views external influences as a threat to its power and stability. For this reason, citizens are not allowed to contact the outside world, leading to further isolation. North Korea borders the Yellow Sea and the Sea of Japan, providing a gateway to the Pacific trade. It is cut off from almost every side because South Korea and Japan, two members of the U.S. alliance system that have imposed sanctions on them, guard these gateways. As a result, economic activities between North Korea and its neighbors are absent. Economic factors. Since the 1940s, North Korea has maintained one of the most closed and centralized economies in the world. For several decades, it adhered to the Soviet model of 5-year plans, with the ultimate objective of attaining self-sufficiency. With the support of the Soviets and the Chinese, they quickly recovered from the Korean War, but had non-existent trade relations with most countries. International sanctions, especially from the United Nations, have severely limited North Korea's economic interactions. The refusal of the regime to adhere to the disarmament agreements has resulted in further isolation. Though Russia, China, Singapore, and a few other countries have trade relations with them, it is not enough to keep them out of isolation. As we end this video, we would like to state that, aside from not wanting foreigners to know what is happening in their country, North Korea could also be isolated because they seek complete discipline in their culture, or try to be conservative as best they can. Whatever the reasons are, the country will continue to attract public criticism as the worst country to live on Earth. Why do you think North Korea is isolated? Please join the conversation and share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.